in order to do business with you. They break open your house one thing, they rape your mother, they rape your father, they rape your brother, they rape your sister, they rape your auntie, they rape your auntie, they rob you of all your jewels, they take your car if you have a license firearm, they take your firearm and they go on with that. And those that are supposed to vote for this bill, for the next year, you all are pleased and it's okay with that. What are they smoking? You cannot come and tell Saieed, well hear this now, Saieed, mass mandatory, here we go, it come to an end. And then you come and tell me, here we go on Saieed. If you go to the supermarket, the grocery, or the malls, you have to wear your mask. Saieed, if you go to a pharmacy, you have to wear your mask. Saieed, if you're traveling, you have to wear your mask. If you're in the transportation hub, you have to wear your mask. If you're going to church side, you have to wear your mask. If you're in the school side, you're wearing your mask. If you go to a barber salon, you go to the theater, you're wearing your mask. Which dum-dum in Trinidad and Tobago will go in a theater and buy a popcorn and a juice and sit down and wear a mask? Thanks! If every councillor go through their constituency, do video clips like this and send it for us, I'm gonna be so happy just to play it on our program on a Wednesday night. You know why I would be happy? I will be filled with joy in my heart. You know why? Because the councillor is getting off their butts and they are actually going and doing some live video shoots. Real Talk took the initiative to find out suppliers of wheat in the world that National Flour Mill could go to. So now Romano is saying the company is not going to raise any price in the near future. Why? Why? Is it because the S-boss and they realize now that, hey, it is in the public domain that we could go right Mexico and buy flour and wheat? We could go right China and buy wheat? I am about change. And thus far, Real Talk is very effective in Trinidad and Tobago coming towards making changes for the citizens. Public Utility Minister Marvin Gonzalez have urged the population to appreciate and be grateful for the availability of the utilities. This, as Gonzalez recalled, time in his life when he had to fetch water using a bucket from a nearby river. Gonzalez, I want you to understand something. I want you, Mr. Gonzalez, to understand something. You are being paid thousands of dollars by public utility, by the finance ministry, to govern WASA. Come on. To govern WASA, I want you to understand that you ain't going in no office for no free code. You are being paid. Do not tell me that I, Saieed, have to be grateful for the water I get it. Let me tell you something, Gonzalez. Every 4 months, I have to pay $400 and I get water once a bloody month. So don't come on a media briefing and say, Saieed, you have to be contented. You have to be happy. Marvin, the next best thing for you to do is to resign and get the hell out of here. I am your host, Saieed. We do want to thank you for joining us tonight, viewers. Remember to share our live stream. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube. Remember that. So, viewers, remember, Real Talk Financing is offering you 4% on fixed deposit, viewers. The oldest financial institution in Trinidad and Tobago is doing that. Remember that, viewers. Also, you can be a member of the Real Talk Credit Union, viewers. Go up onto the Real Talk Credit Union Facebook page. Our requirements is pinned to the top of the page. Get the requirements. Be members of Real Talk Credit Union. Plant a seed today and start saving for a better tomorrow. Remember that, viewers. Also, those of you who are looking for cash borrow, I am a licensed money lender. As long as you have some form of collateral, asset for us to hold, it's not a problem. You would get money borrow. So, as we start our program tonight, just an update. Land and Marine and Construction Service, LMCS, have stated that it is not to blame for the Paria diving tragedy in which 4 of its divers died. The company made a statement in separate letters from one of its attorney to Freedom Law Chambers and attorney Prakash Ramada. Now, Mirage alleged that Paria, not LMCS, was to blame for not pursuing any timely rescue operation for the trapped divers and preventing LMCS and or others from implementing a rescue plan to retrieve the divers from the pipeline. She said, based on evidence presented to the Paria Commissioner of Inquiries, Paria is guilty of gross negligence. Mirage added that on this base, Paria is solely liable for damage being sought by Budram, Kwesi, and Kuban's family. Ramada said he was prepared to take steps before the start of the new law term in September to initiate legal action against Paria and LMCS to ensure his clients are properly compensated. He hinted that these steps could involve raising the matter before the High Court, the Court of Appeal, and the Privy Council. He added also suggested an extra 30 payment of $5 million for each of the families of the 4 dead divers. Trinidad and Tobago, this matter have been going on far too long. And we have a big company, we have investigators, we have intelligence unit. And for far too long, this matter is going on while family members are mourning the death of their breadwinner. And I keep saying, if something like this happened to probably those in Paria, you know, those who sit on the high chair and feel they have the whole world in them hands, if it happened to their son or their daughter in some other job, I wonder how they would feel. They would fly in the best attorneys in Trinidad or in some other countries to fight cases. But sadly, viewers, it didn't happen to their family. It didn't. But God don't sleep, you know. God don't, is one thing I just always say, that God don't sleep. And I just live by that. Health Ministry. The Health Minister, Terence Dayal Singh, have stated that there has been a recent reduction in the number of dengue cases at the public health facilities. The minister said dengue comes around every 7 to 10 years, and in Trinidad and Tobago, the last outbreak or any significant deviation from the norm was in 2014. He stressed dengue is not only a problem to Trinidad and Tobago. Up to today, September 9, TNT had 1,315 laboratory confirmed cases of dengue fever and 16 laboratory confirmed deaths. The number of cases rose by 262 and death by 3 compared to the ministry's September 6th update. The other thing said there was also a misconception or a misconception that the public health facilities were not doing dengue testing. He said, to make a diagnosis, doctors at the public health facility takes note of symptoms and take a complete blood count. If there was a need for further testing, a simple sample would be sent to the Pan American Health Organization, and a polymerase chain reaction test, rapid testing for dengue, is not being used due to the unreliability of this test. You hear that? That coming from the minister, eh? So viewers, again, we at Real Talk with Saieed. Again, we tell you from time to time, since dengue have been rising in Trinidad and Tobago, every night, every other night, we encourage you, keep your surroundings clean. Mosquito will breed. Cover the barrel, get rid of the tire, move the old stocks that you have around the house, the bushes, clean up your place. It's for your safety, it's for your children's safety, unless you want to get stung by a mosquito. And you know what? That is it. Dengue in the family, one die, everybody crying. If I did know this, and if I did know that, and if I did do the next. Don't start. So Trinidad and Tobago. Last week I was in Panama. I had a lovely 4 days in Panama. I went on business, but it's nice. It's nice. Taking a break from work, flying out, coming back. It was good. But nevertheless, we back here. We live on Real Talk. Oh, anybody owe me money? Yeah, I believe we have a picture to pop. And I remember. Yeah, and I remember. Megan. So Trinidad and Tobago, I always tell people, when you borrow money from Saieed, all I just want is for you to pay back your money. That is all I just want. That is all the company wants. What is theirs? Nothing more than what belongs to them. And I keep saying this from time to time. Your asset, you work hard for it. You reach in a jam, you borrow money. The right thing you should do is to pay back what you borrow. And I am a genuine fella. You come here talk to me, and we go work out something. You come here talk to my team, we go work out something. But when you're running and you're hiding and you want to play tit for tat, there's a way we do business. Now you wouldn't want the public to know that, hey, I borrow money and I'm running and I'm ducking and I'm hiding and I'm telling the office one set of this and that and the next. But no, there comes a time when the board will get fed up of the runaround and they will put you on blast. They will put you on blast. And there is nothing I could do about that, because when a board make a decision, that's it. So when you want to blame Saieed and Saieed and Saieed and Saieed, no, it's not Saieed. It's the board. I am a money lender, yes, but always remember there's a board. Republic Bank is a financial institution, Scotia Bank is a financial institution, Real Talk is a financial institution. But the thing is, other financial institutions, they won't put you up because they decided not me to go and spend that money to put them up. But I would. You know why? It's my company money. So Megan, get your money, come and pay the company, and they'll retract your photo from television, from Facebook. It's simple as that. You see, I will tell you something, and I just always say this. When you tell yourself you're doing me bad, you ain't doing me bad. The public will know who you are. And there's a very, let me tell you something, I could count on my hands the people them that owed us. I could count on my hands. And what happened? They didn't run for long. Even somebody from the army tried to outsmart us. They didn't get through. They didn't get through. Hey, let me tell you something. You know, first time people say, oh, Saieed, you're doing spirit work. I mean, you could send a spirit and you could do this and you could do that. Let me tell you something. When you borrow money from somebody, that have nothing to do with spirit work. It have absolutely nothing to do with spirits. You didn't borrow it from a spirit. You borrowed it from a living human being. A living human being. Your duty is to pay back that living human being. Yes, I mean, I could do spirit work. I'm born gifted. I've been doing that all my life. There's lots of things I could do. Lots of things. So, Megan, you know what to do. Because the office would not reach out to you again. They would not. I would not. We have ways of doing things. And for those who say, well, you know, Saieed, you can't put them up, really, come challenge me. Come challenge me. Come and challenge me. So viewers, there's a woman PC or a woman police officer charged a civilian or want to charge a civilian for a rag that is camouflage. Now, I want police officers to understand something. According to Mr. Hines, if you are in full camouflage representing the army and you don't have an army badge, you could be charged. I think we have a video with Hines, eh? Right. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break. But when we come back from that break, we're going to start the story with the WPC, and we're going to hear what Hines have to say, and we're going to hear also what the female individual had to say. And you be the judge of if the police officer acted accordingly, or she acted biasly, or acted with having the power of being a police officer, which we would say abuse of power. After this break.
Become a member of Real Talk Credit Union, now located at number 14 Coroni Savannah Road, Chagonas. Open a fixed deposit with Real Talk Investments and get 4% on interest with interest payment being paid up front. Get in contact with us at 238-6716, 231-6219 or 339-1670. Real Talk Credit Union Cooperative Society Limited. Plant a seed today for a better tomorrow.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Real Talk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Coroni Savannah Road, Chagonas or number 132 Paria Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on a roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
So welcome back to Real Talk viewers. Remember, we are offering you 4% on fixed deposit Real Talk financing. You can't go wrong. The highest interest rate that is being paid out in Trinidad and Tobago or in any financial institution is at Real Talk financing. Remember that, viewers. Also, you're looking for cash borrow. It's not a problem. Contact me and we can do business as long as you have some form of asset or collateral. Remember that. Also, be a member of Real Talk Credit Union. Open a savings account. Plant a seed today, and you will reap the fruit later on in the future. Always remember that. If you don't plant anything, you cannot reap anything. If you plant hard labor, you will reap the reward. It's simple. It's simple. A farmer knows when they plant, they would reap. A bandit knows that when he don't plant, he would reap, get shot by the police, get caught by the police, and you end up in jail. That is the reaping product of being a bandit. The reaping product of being a bandit. You see, every action have a reaction. And I just tell people this. I just tell people that. What were you going to do? So, a woman was arrested for having a camel rag, or as the WPC said, a prohibited item. Hold on, director. Now, in Trinidad, TTPS have a uniform, which bandits have sometimes. Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force Service have a uniform for its soldiers, which bandit also gets their hands on. Coast Guard have a uniform for their officers, which pirates do get their hands on also. Now, like I said, when you have a full uniform belonging to TTPS, the Coast Guard, or the Defense Force, if you do not produce your work badge, you could be charged, you could be detained, you could even be imprisoned. Remember that, Trinidad and Tobago. So it is illegal for having items or suits that belong to the various arms of the national security. But having a rag which is being sold in the stores is no charge. Having a 3/4 pants representing the army selling in stores is not a charge. Having a t-shirt selling in a store representing the army is not a charge. So we have the video with Heinz, right? Okay, good. So here what we're going to do. Let me play the first video for Trinidad and Tobago, and they will understand where we're coming from.
I am a civilian and I'm entitled to record. He with me and he come out to get something for me to drink. No, I don't. Okay, I can take it off. It's nothing. It's just a rag. It's just a rag. This is crazy. We just come to get something to drink. We have a children in the car. What's he doing wrong? He come out.
Hello. Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. All right, no problem. Okay, and you want me to throw it away? Could I throw it away? It's just a bandana. What the hell is going on? I'm going to call my grandmother to police. Yes, camouflage. We could throw it away.
No, it's an arrestable offense, ma'am. Camouflage is an arrestable offense.
Okay.
Right?
And it's just a rag I have on, but we didn't just come to get something.
No, but it's an arrestable offense, ma'am.
Okay, you want to arrest me for a rag?
No, I'm arresting you for possession of a prohibited item. That's the same being a camouflage rag.
Somebody call me.
Excuse me, my phone.
This is not phone.
Step back. Hold on that.
Come and take the phone and call mom.
Ma'am, this is called for this is called for ma'am.
Call mom.
Okay?
Call mom. Somebody call mom. Hey, call mom for me, please. Call mom and them. Call them now.
Section 219 of the Defense Act, to which the Colonel made reference, it says, and I might quote, permit me, a person other than a member of the defense force who without lawful excuse, the proof whereof shall lie with him, the burden of proof is on him, A, wears the uniform or any portion of the uniforms of a member of the defense force, so it means it has to be their uniform, or B, wears any costume or article of clothing or apparel so closely resembling the uniform or any portion thereof of a member of the defense force. So let me intersperse here again. It has to be part of their clothing or apparel, means that if a handbag is in camouflage, that's not clothing or apparel. You follow? And it must so closely resemble, which means if it appears in pink or yellow and brown, you follow me? Doesn't closely resemble. I continue. As may cause such person to be mistaken for a member of the defense force. So that if she turns up in a real thin shorts in the camouflage color and a white or a pink top, that doesn't exactly resemble the uniform of the defense force. And therefore it is in this regard that the Colonel says they will enforce the law. They make their own judgment and they take the time in from the facts in front of them before one decides, the police decide whether they would prosecute or not.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago, by now, the whole of Trinidad would have seen the posts on social media. The woman police officer, before I tell about the clothing, it is not illegal for any civilian to videotape an officer. No officer in Trinidad and Tobago, let me be clear, no police officer in Trinidad and Tobago can charge any civilian for videotaping them. Because the civilian could carry the police officer to court and the civilian will be awarded by the judge, made in an order, that the civilian will be rewarded. So I want police officers to understand this. If you arrest somebody for videotaping you, the civilian will get rewarded. I want you to understand that. The woman was well within her rights to videotape the officers. Now, concerning the clothing, the woman was not wearing a bandana like a jersey. The woman was not wearing the bandana as a pants. So the police officers, I'll tell you something, you know. Police officers know who to give blind, you know. So I put in the officer on the spot one time. One time. I believe she's a sergeant. I got some info on her today. I was shaken up. I was surprised. But she know who's the favor. She know who she could favor. So, a rag, a bandana, you would charge somebody for that? It's not clothes, officer. You want to charge somebody for a rag that's selling in stores? It's sad. So I want to ask the police officer if she know the drug man in the community of San Fernando. Tonight I'm asking the officer on national television, you want to charge the bloody hell girl for a bandana, but the drug man living in the community, what are you doing about him? Come lady, come lady. Prohibited item, the man selling the marijuana and the cocaine, and the man selling the illegal drugs in the community. How do you call that? Legal item, officer? Officer, I'm not hearing you. You should be ashamed. You should be bloody hell ashamed to be an officer who have all the information about who is the drugs man in the community. But you want to charge them for what? Prohibited item? I'm taking my time tonight and I'm laying it down. Tonight I'm taking my very time and I'm laying it down. How do we call cocaine? Is it a legal substance? How do we call a gun without license? How do you call it? Is that a legal item? Come on, officer. You're on blast tonight, you know. Trust me, you're in blast. How do you call that? When your children go to school and they get in a fight, what do the principals do? The next day they're coming back to school. How come them don't get charged? They fighting. So we're talking about legal substance and illegal substance. What the drugs man selling, officer, is that legal in the community? And I am sure, since you are a sergeant, I believe, I'm sure you know the drugs man in the community. How come you ain't charge any? How come? And to reach a rank of a sergeant, you had to be in the force a little while. You had to know the drugs man in the community. Come, officer. You want to talk about prohibited item? Call a good night.
Night side. Good topic. This is the imitation vaccine we got.
Welcome, my friend.
A couple of things. You see that sergeant? She's just like a khaki one who lost the court recently, and the state had to pay 90,000 each to the people who was videotaping him. He's a senior police officer. And it looked like all of them get training from Fitzy, you know. You know why Fitzy was an instructor in the police service, you know. And you know what happened? They're talking about camouflage. I feel the lady was wearing an Oni, you know. And them get confused. They say camouflage, bandana and all kind of thing. I feel she wearing it as a Oni. And Fitzy intelligence is camouflage when you sit down with all of them people around the national security table. But you know what I want to talk about?
Tell me.
That issue in the Gomatin. Look how unintelligent the PNM is and how they want to basically come from and play for votes. There's a swimming pool in Diamond Vale. which is less than a mile from where they want to build that new swimming pool in Bagatelle. So let us ask the question why they want to do it there. That Bagatelle area, you know, is basically have 99% of the people is squatters or, as you say, given comfort certificate. So what are you telling me? You build swimming pool to pacify the squatters? Or you building the swimming pool to encourage the squatters to do more squatting? I'm going to have a nice day and they can walk down, take a sweat, and then go and dive in the swimming pool in the mountain and feel nice and happy. I'm going to have a nice day.
Thank you, my friend. So, viewers, earlier this year, Minister of National Security Fitzgerald Hines read the act and said an offense was only committed by someone wearing camouflage clothing that could have him or her mistakenly identified as a member of the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force. Listen to this. Night, run it back. Caller, good night.
Hello, good night.
Go right ahead, you're live.
We're calling concerning camouflage issue. I'm an ex-soldier from Maui. Camouflage is determined by what? What is camouflage? Camouflage is something that blends into the environment.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like one. Two. Somebody wearing a piece of camouflage. What's the uniform of the army we have here now and what's them camouflage and military? It's two completely different things. Ask any one of them police for the meaning of camouflage. The meaning of camouflage is something blending into your environment where you cannot be seen.
Thank you, my friend. So Trinidad and Tobago, we're going for a short commercial break because it's that time. But when we come back, we're going straight to the video and listen to what Mr. Hines said. And we're going to play back the video with the officer and listen to what the officer said after this break. Oh.
Become a member of Real Talk Credit Union, now located at number 14 Coroni Savannah Road, Chagonas. Open a fixed deposit with Real Talk Investments and get 4% on interest with interest payment being paid up front. Get in contact with us at 238-6716, 231-6219 or 339-1670. Real Talk Credit Union Cooperative Society Limited. Plant a seed today for a better tomorrow.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Report Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Real Talk Report Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Coroni Savannah Road, Chagonas or number 132 Paria Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on a roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
So Trinidad and Tobago, welcome back to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. We are dealing with an issue within the camouflage and the non-camouflage. Something resembling and something identical. So, we're going back to the police video. Listen carefully.
Section 219 of the Defense Act, to which the Colonel made reference. It says, and I might quote, permit me, a person other than a member of the defense force who without lawful excuse, the proof whereof shall lie with him, the burden of proof is on him, A, wears the uniform or any portion of the uniforms of a member of the defense force, so it means it has to be their uniform, or B, wears any costume or article of clothing or apparel so closely resembling the uniform or any portion thereof of a member of the defense force. So let me intersperse here again. It has to be part of their clothing or apparel, means that if a handbag is in camouflage, that's not clothing or apparel. You follow? And it must so closely resemble, which means if it appears in pink or yellow and brown.
Come.
You follow?
What the minister said? Clothing! Officer, the bandana is not a clothing! Are you illiterate? Are you? For corporal rank, I expect you to be with a fair education of TGPS. Now, we're going to the police video now. Listen carefully, viewers.
I am a civilian and I'm entitled to record. He with me and he come out to get something for me to drink. No, I don't. Okay, I can take it off. It's nothing. It's just a rag. It's just a rag. This is crazy. We just come to get something to drink. We have a children in the car. What he do wrong? He come out. Yeah. Okay. All right, no problem. Okay, and you want me to throw it away? Could I throw it away? It's just a bandana. What the hell is going on? I'm going to call my grandmother to police. Yes, I we could throw it away.
No, it's an arrestable offense, ma'am. Camouflage is an arrestable offense.
Okay,
right?
And it's just a rag I have on, but we just come to get something.
No, but it's an arrestable offense, ma'am.
Okay, you want to arrest me for a rag?
No, I'm arresting you for possession of a prohibited item. That's the same being a camouflage rag.
Somebody call me.
Excuse me, my phone.
This is your phone.
Step back. Step back. Put on that.
Come and take the phone and call mom.
Ma'am, this ain't called for, right? This ain't called for,
Call mom.
So to the officer, And all your colleagues, I want you to understand something here tonight. What the minister said to what she had was two different things. Common sense. And I hate to be addressing a illiterate police officer. Is the bandana and pants? Officer? Is the bandana the jacket of Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force? You see, I'll tell you something. Huh? We have police officers in Trinidad and Tobago that long ago when they used to take in 360 and you're inside. You don't want to have a one in maths, you don't have to have a one in English, you don't have to have a one in science. They're taking you into DPS, some of them 40 years inside it. With education like a dog bone, hard-headed. So I want the officer to understand now. In that same community, you decide to charge the lady for the rag, the bandana, the prohibited item. Is there any drugs man in that community? Is there anybody selling marijuana in that community, officer? To your colleagues, were you all going on a raid to raid the drug man in that community? Officers! Caller, good night.
Yes, sir, good night.
Go right ahead, my friend.
Sorry, I want to touch on three things quick there, but on this issue you're talking about, what do you think about it, right? The arrest of a woman for a bandana, right? Which is a camouflage item, right?
That's what she said.
Now, you tell me how unjust that is to the woman. Then there is what police, they get cooperation from the public to solve crime, right?
She missed that whole point.
Right, that's one thing, right? The next is that when it's an army pep, how many people will be wearing on camouflage and going in the pep and they with police and
thank you.
How many people will be doing that? Why the police don't talk about that? Right? Right. I want to tell me what you think about this, right? The police telling people to come forward who being extorted money and thing, right? You tell me if this is not extortion. You come by my house, taking up picture of my house and forcing me to pay a tax that I don't want to pay. Right? And when I don't want to pay, they come and seize my property, they come and seize things from my house. That is an extortion?
Correct.
You tell me if that is an extortion, the government and the finance ministry extorting citizens of this country to pay their property tax, who don't have the money to pay that tax. That is extortion time. If Senior Superintendent Richard Smith and all they want to know is extortion, who want to talk to the finance minister, because he and the whole finance ministry trying to extort the population right now. My next point is, this commissioner of police, if people this by now, and I'm telling you this because I get it from inside the CCPL. She only working with instructions from Fitzgerald. If he tells she don't sign something, she cannot sign it. She can do nothing without talking to that man. If people understand it tonight. I'm making that real clear. Because she only working with instructions from certain ministers. And that is not what the CCPL is supposed to be. It's supposed to be an independent body. They're not supposed to take no instructions from no minister and no prime minister. And the last thing I want to tell you is, I see the utility minister come now and say they have a $4 billion debt fee and
Hey, I have a story. Don't bust the ass yet. Don't bust the ass.
Wait, I try to figure out this thing. Where does $4 billion debt come from? I try to understand. So when we have people who in charge of paying these bills for these ministries, but we have to get a financial audit for the last 9 years to see where our money going, because let me tell you something, every budget they allocated money to pay all the bills.
Correct.
Where the money going? That is what we try to. Let me tell you something, I'm not a taxpayer country. And I'm not taking no money to pay no debt. Because people getting paid to do their job and people not doing their job, and a lot of people stealing money in all their ministries. That is why every year for the financial year, everything coming up short. And they can't be bending people back to be paying all these that are over cost. And all these things that coming up to all these debts, and we can't make that aside.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you, my friend. So Trinidad and Tobago, all the Philly police, this was a bacchanal. Minister of Public Utility Marvin Gonzalez have confirmed that Trinidad and Tobago Electricity Commission, that is TNTEC, owes the National Gas Company, NGC, over $4 billion. And consumers will have to assist in repaying this, as the government cannot. at this time. The ministry said that TNTech gets its gas from NGC, and the price that it pays for the gas is not passed on to you, the consumer. And that is the reason why the government owes the NGC $4 billion. Listen to this.
The monies that TNTech receive for the generation and the distribution of electricity is sufficient to keep its operation running. But hear this. TNTech gets its gas from NGC. The price that it pays for the gas is not passed on to you, the consumers. And that is the reason why today the government owes the NGC over $4 billion.
Minister Gonzalez said consumers will have to pay more.
Electricity rate coming up? How long have I been telling you all that? How long? Oh, all you now decide to listen? All you now decide to listen? Since January, February, I'm telling all of that. Brace on yourself for an electricity raise. Gonzalez said taxpayers will have to pay more, because if TNTech were called upon to pay the gas price of $4 billion, then someone has to pay for it. Listen to this.
Because if TNTech were called upon to pay that gas price of $4 billion, then someone has to pay for it.
Minister Gonzalez said consumers in this country continue to pay the lowest for water and electricity.
Trinidad and Tobago, Gonzalez said, consumers in this country continue to pay the lowest for water and electricity. He said, on a year base, TNT spends over $2.1 billion in water sector to keep WASA going. And while the citizens are paying these lowest rates for water, the government has to find a revenue to ensure that we get water and electricity. Listen to this.
It should really dawn heavy on our minds that on a yearly basis, we spend over $2.1 billion in the water sector to keep WASA going. So whilst, yes, we are paying the lowest rates for water, the government has to find the revenues to ensure that we get water as best as we can. In the same way for electricity.
Now Trinidad and Tobago, the Regulated Industry Commission RIC, public consultation on the proposed increased rates and cabinet deliberation towards the proposed change in electricity rate are yet to be announced. How much are you willing to pay for water and electricity? Didn't I tell you all? Didn't I tell you what a brace for it? Saieed, where you getting your sauce from? Where you getting your sauce from, Saieed? Twiddly doodly 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 doo doo doo. Oh, let's see where it's coming from now. Now only had to pay $4 billion. $4 billion now. The consumers of electricity in Trinidad and Tobago, all they had to pay that. All they had to pay that. The government can't find the money to pay it. So what are you going to do now? Call a good night?
Good night, Mr. Said. Great program as usual, man. Never in this country, what you are highlighting, they have been highlighted to educate the citizens and the world what is happening in this country. And you make it look nice, you know. You said 3 subjects to get any police service. That isn't so. You have to resemble Rowley, Hines, Ola Christopher, and Benjamin. Then you will get into the police service. The 1,000 recruits they're supposed to recruit over this 2-year period here. 300 recruits already recruited. Not one of them resemble the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, the president of this country. Not one. So the and the opposition leader is talking about, you highlight that on a clip there last week, the opposition leader is talking about giving police incentive to fight crime. Lady, I don't know, you suffer from mental health issue,
All right. Caller, thank you. We are going to condemn them. They're just not highly educated enough on the common sense department to know how to fight crime in Trinidad. Let me tell you something, crime's so easier to fix in Trinidad and Tobago. We have the police station in the community, random raids, lock them up, and that is it. And that is it, random raids in the community, and the community being safe. There is the thugs. There is the nuisance to society, and the community safe. It's that simple. You don't need an educated man like Heinz to say that. We don't need an educated lawyer to tell us that. Common sense. But if the commissioner of police don't have no common sense, if the head has no common sense, you expect the tail to have common sense? When the head has to wag the tail go stand still, what you expect? So who is going to pay now $4 billion now? Let me tell you something. If the government cannot pay TNTech $4 billion, what's going to happen? Is TNTech going to shut down its operation and supplying electricity to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago? If the board of directors in TNTech decide to say, you know what? We're not getting this $4 billion, we're shutting down all operations. What's going to happen? How come all of a sudden we don't have revenue in Trinidad and Tobago? How come? You want to know why we don't have? Because when we had, did we put it to use? Did we build infrastructure? No, we didn't build infrastructure. We depended on oil and gas. Presently in Guyana, I've been in Guyana, and I can tell you, presently in Guyana, they are investing heavily in the agriculture sector. So, according to Jack Dale and Mr. Saieed Ali, in case the oil sector falls, they're going to have agriculture, they're going to have industries to fall back on. What do we have in Trinidad? We have agriculture. We have to fall back on growing nothing. We have nothing. We had the sugar mill. We had the rice mill. Now we don't have the oil. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? How much more money can you take out from your monthly salary? I'm asking you a question. If water goes up, and electricity goes up, how much more are you prepared to take out of your monthly salary? How much more? I've been telling you all about electricity and water. For months now. I've been telling you, you know why? My little birdie have been tweedly-doo. It's been working. Doodly-doodly-doodly-doo-doo-doo. Now all I get it live and direct. What are you going to do? Tell me. I want to hear some solutions. You're going to go back to flambeau days? You're going to go back to candle days? According to how the big time lawyer name? He's in the Ministry of Security. Are you going to go back to coal pot days and riding bicycle? Think, citizen, think. I've been telling you all this for months now. Brace all yourself for increase. I'm not saying riot, you know. But Clogging Bird said, them ain't riot yet. So he's still sitting up where he is today because all ain't riot yet. Well, brace all yourself now. In the coming weeks now, all you will see the adjustment in all the electricity bill. And right after that, you're going to see the adjustment in all your water rate. Call a good night.
brother.
Go right ahead, you're live.
Wonderful program, man.
Thank you, my friend.
Yeah, man. We get it from all sides, boy. Left side, right side, back. All sides we get it from. You know? I call to talk about the police.
Tell me.
When she's a real dunce here, boy. She's a real dunce. That's abuse of power.
Thank you, my friend.
Yeah.
Say, see, viewers, do you think it is getting easier? It is not getting easier. It is not getting easier. Hundreds of millions of dollars are going to be allocated to WASA. Listen to me closely. Hundreds of millions of dollars will be allocated to WASA. How much are going to be allocated to TNTech? Trinidad and Tobago? Oh, let's see where I am going now. For months I've been warning you all about this. Listen, this is the only program. This give all you a proper heads up of what is to come, you know. A proper heads up of what is to come. It's not bashing PNM, you know. It's not bashing UNC, you know. It is holding those that sit on the chair responsible. That is what this program is about. It is not bashing. Because if UNC and her team was there, trust me, sir, it would have been the same way. Any political party governing Trinidad and Tobago, I would have been the same way. The exact same way. Holding them accountable and responsible for their office. For their office. How much more can you cut from your monthly salary? Ask yourself that. Ask yourself that. I can't cut no more, you know. I cannot cut no more. So, for weeks now and months now, I've been asking union leaders in Trinidad and Tobago, get your members together and keep our protests. Why are we raising electricity? Why isn't it that the government ain't holding up them part of the bargain? Why? Oh, you all don't know. You see, when I have been telling you all, people in position are supposed to give account, transparency. Do we have it in Trinidad and Tobago? We don't. We don't. Contractors doing work. Quality engineers just passing it. Whether it good or it bad, it pass. Money going down the drain. Money. Anybody saw the Perseverance Bridge recently in Chaconas? Oh, let's see how it is. Who's going to hold contractors responsible? There was a contractor from Guyana, from Trinidad, left and went Guyana and started to do contract. And the quality of the work, watch me, it was not to the standard of what the Guyana president and people loved. They disqualified them one time. One time. You seen that in Trinidad here? No, everybody connected to somebody. Everybody connected to somebody, and that is it. So viewers, we are at the end of our program tonight. So be safe until we meet again. Good night.